Raise your hand if you have a secret talent that not many know about because it's just a little weird. Not that it's bad, it's just so out of the ordinary. It's simply not in the realm of subjects that would naturally come up in conversation. Don't worry, you're not the only one. Let's look at celebrities with hidden talents you'll never see coming. Starting with Margot Robbie is a tattoo artist. Sort of. Margot Robbie is many things, but did you know she's also a tattoo artist? Well, sort of. Robbie formed lasting friendships while on the set of her movie Suicide Squad, and she solidified said friendships by tattooing some of her cast and crewmates. It's said that Robbie has completed over 100 tattoos so far, and according to Robbie herself, she's only getting worse. Good thing she can be honest about it to herself. Next up, Angelina Jolie is a master knife thrower. There's a reason why Angelina was such a perfect Lara Croft, and it's not just because she has the looks. Jolie loves dark and dangerous hobbies and isn't scared to give them a go at least once in her lifetime. The actress has also been an avid collector of weapons since she was a little girl and learned all about the art of knife throwing on the set of Tomb Raider. She once showed a little knife-wielding ability while on the Conan O'Brien show, and you could have heard a pin drop as she said about it. Following, Geena Davis is an accomplished archer. These days, Geena Davis is a well-known actress and producer, but once upon a time in 1999, she competed in the US semifinals for archery. While she didn't manage to qualify for the 2000 Summer Olympics, she did end up placing 24th out of 300, and there aren't many amongst us who can boast of being an archer at all, so that's pretty neat. Especially when you realize Davis only picked up the hobby 2 years before. It became a little more than just a simple hobby, as the actress had a knack for the bow and arrow. And now, Mike Tyson competes in pigeon racing. When you look at former professional boxer Mike Tyson, pigeon racer is probably the last thing that comes to mind. But let us tell you that Tyson not only adores the little birds, but also actively competes in pigeon racing. Tyson has loved pigeons since he was 9 years old and said they were an escape from the bullying he experienced as a child for being overweight. As he explains himself, when we're on the roof with our birds, it's a whole different energy when we're with the homers. We're up here, it's almost like a therapy session. Next, Mark Ruffalo can ride a unicycle. When Mark Ruffalo appeared on the Graham Norton Show in 2015, it had been over 25 years since he had last ridden a unicycle. But once you've learned how to ride any bike, you've gained a lifelong skill. Or at least, Ruffalo did because he made it seem like he hadn't missed a day. And you know what? This skill suits the actor. Following, Jack White has an upholstery company. Before Jack White started the White Stripes, he had turned his upholstery hobby into a business, Third Man Upholstery. And recently, he has returned to his upholstery roots after being commissioned to flip an old couch from Sam Phillips Recording in Memphis, Tennessee. The couch had just as much style as White himself has, achieving an impressive level of vintage cool. Sometimes old hobbies are hard to eliminate, especially when you have a particular knack for them. Hold up, where do you think you're going? We've got much more in store for you. Can you guess which celebrity is a really good juggler? And who do you think likes to sculpt with iron? We promise you that there are quite a few interesting hobbies left. Stay tuned to find out more. First up, Pierce Brosnan. Bad boy Pierce Brosnan likes his dangerous hobbies, though maybe his original motivations were less than kosher. Brosnan had admitted that when he first entered a fire-eating contest in 1969, he was more interested in the topless women that came with the unconventional hobby and decided to give the whole fire-eating thing a go. At the same time, he's had a few public fire-eating performances since he's mostly retired from the sport. Next up, Elliot Page is a pretty good juggler. Most people can learn how to juggle with a little bit of practice, but Elliot Page is not your average person and has taken juggling to the next level. They showed off their undeniable talent during multiple performances on TV and in private, and they can do more than throw 3 balls into the air and juggle them a bit. No, they can alternate and change in shape and direction, while they prefer the use of fruit. Somehow this seems like a very fitting secret hobby for the star. Following, Conan O'Brien is a tap dancer. Conan O'Brien may not be the best at it, but he still takes every opportunity to show off his skills at tap dancing in hilarious and clever ways. He took tap dancing lessons as a young boy and never lost the taste for it, though the host and comedian didn't get quite good enough to do anything serious with it. Still, that doesn't mean we don't enjoy his agility and smooth moves every once in a while, which are still far better better than many people his age will be able to pull off. Next, Neil Patrick Harris the magician. Neil Patrick Harris grew up in a small town in New Mexico, and according to him, there wasn't a lot to amuse him, which is how Harris discovered the world of magic. And if you think that his acting career has slowed his magical endeavors down, you're wrong. Harris has confessed that this particular hobby is a huge driving factor in choosing certain roles. For example, Count Olaf's character was chosen because of his fondness for magic in a series of unfortunate events. According to Harris, a certain element of magic in choosing roles requires you to become kind of a chameleon, followed by Taylor Swift making jelly and jam. As fans of Taylor Swift will most certainly know, the massively successful singer-songwriter grew up in Reading, Pennsylvania, on an 11-acre Christmas tree farm. Swift also enjoys doing special acts of kindness for her friends and loved ones, and one of these acts has turned into a little bit of a hobby for her. It's the fusion of growing up watching her mother make homemade grape jelly for the holidays every year and her desire to surprise her friends with something special, which has added up to inspire Swift to make her line of all kinds of jellies and jams to give away to her nearest and dearest. Next up, Kaley Cuoco rides horses. You may be unaware of Kaley Cuoco's love of horses if you're not following the actress on Instagram, because she is not held back from showing it on her feed. Cuoco loves horses so much she owns quite a few of them, and she still loves to compete in jumping competitions in her free time. And if we are to believe her, horseback riding is also a great and easy workout. And now, Bob Dylan is an iron sculptor. Bob Dylan is an absolute legend, but he can do much more than sing about social justice. He's also quite a capable sculptor of iron. According to Dylan, he was born and raised in the iron ore country, otherwise known as Hibbing, Minnesota, where he acquired the habit of reworking discarded metal to turn it into something with meaning. And the musician's love for art never left him. He's become quite good at the craft and has even shown his work at several galleries in New York. Next, Harrison Ford is a pilot. Before Harrison Ford had a successful career in Hollywood and embodied one of the most famous fictitious archaeology professors, Ford was a licensed pilot. But as you can probably guess, flying around in aircraft is quite an expensive hobby, so he had to let it go until his cash flow had increased significantly. But the actor has a knack for it, and his aviation skills earned Ford a few rewards over the years. And lastly, Kesha makes jewelry from teeth. When Kesha was being treated for an eating disorder in 2014, she didn't stop looking for a connection with her fans, despite her situation. And when a fan sent her human teeth through the mail, something clicked. Why not make jewelry and clothing from human teeth? According to the singer-songwriter, she made a necklace, a bra, and earrings, until the treatment center ended it and gave her a good scolding. And that's it. Which one of these hidden celebrity talents surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.